Hey everybody, Charlie 902 here, and welcome back to the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. When we last left off, we were able to search a couple extra rooms and find the young ballerina who was masquerading as a Western gentleman. Let's continue our investigation and see if we can't free ourselves. All right, examine. We haven't looked in the hallway in a while. Not seeing anything of note here. Let's hide the mouse. Sorry about that. How do we move over? It's M. Hey! Look who's there. Let's go ahead and talk to old Sherlock. Or Herlock Sholmes. Oh, it's Mr. Sholmes. Look. Wow, you never know where he's going to turn up next, do you? He seems to be stealing a look at something as he sings to himself. What are you singing about there, Sholmes? Tra-la-la, leery-leery-lay, I did it the great detective way. He's still singing. You think he hasn't noticed us? Probably not. Or he's simply in extremely high spirits. Does he have he has a piece on his hip there. On a pistol belt, no less. Or no less, rather. Yes, there were times, I'm sure you knew, when the yard bit off more than it could chew. The yard? What the heck is he talking about? And through it all, when there was doubt, it's lucky Herlock was about. Excuse me. I solved it all and I stood tall. I did it the great detective way. Mr. Sholmes. Whoa, he fell completely down and now he's ready to fight. Ah, what is it? You want to fight, huh? Honestly, interrupting a fellow when he's singing. I was just about to reach the climactic finish. Sorry, thought you were never going to stop, so I figured now's as good a time as any. I very nearly dropped you to the floor with one of my famous right hooks. Alright, I get the picture. Now, could you put those fists away? Mr. Sholmes, you seem to be examining something before he interrupted you. Ah, yes, that. I was immersed in the study of the ship's log as penned by the stockily built crewman who's usually on guard here. Oh yes, the ship's log. And did you find anything useful from it? Well, after 2 a.m. this morning, the majority of the entries are blank. Yeah, we noticed that too. Which means that there was nothing to report. Nothing of note happened, so... Whoa, hysterical laughter? You truly are a student from the land of the rising sun. You've been utterly blinded by it. Once again with the racism just blatantly sprinkled out throughout this whole playthrough. Sorry? Your logic, my boy, is inverted. Whatever do you mean, Mr. Sholmes? Observe the other pages, and all should become clear. Yes, he took very detailed notes with very good handwriting up until last night when there was nothing. So that is the part that is strange, is that there would be nothing when he kept such copious and detailed notes. It would seem that the same crewman oft stands sentry in this first-class passageway. And he has an almost religious practice of recording nothing to report every half hour. Oh, he writes that in every 30 minutes? Except for last night. Nothing to report. Precisely. Put simply, the seaman writes nothing to report when there's just that. And yet, the ship's log from last night is largely blank. He didn't even write nothing to report. Do you mean... Yes, there were circumstances afoot last night which led to the seaman being absent from his post. What kind of circumstances? What happened? Come on now, use your brain. He helped the ballerina escape and get aboard the ship. That remains a mystery for us now. Oh, for now. but we can be sure something significant took place. So significant that it caused the seaman to forget his regular habit of scribing nothing to report in the log. These are important details. I would stake my life on it. You must log the ship's log in your mental file. The ship's log has been entered into the court record, which is my mental file. Now that deduction was worthy of a great detective. Ah, you're starting to understand what my way is, I see. What makes Sholmes, brilliance. Ha ha ha! Oh, ouch. What is it? Are you hurt? Oh, don't worry yourself. I seem to be afflicted with a throbbing head this morning for some reason, nothing more. Everybody has a headache, so there must have been some type of like fumes or something that have happened that maybe caused everybody to pass out. Or they gassed the floor to cause everybody to pass out so that they could sneak the ballerina aboard, something like that. Exclamation point. She doesn't have a throbbing head, but she doesn't live on this floor either. Maybe the food, too. Well, my friends, until our next encounter. Could have been the food. He's still singing to himself. I can hear it as he wanders off down the passageway. Something wrong, Susato-san? You seem to be lost in thought. It's just, well, I feel the same. Sorry? Ever since I woke this morning, I've had something of a headache. Okay, so she had one too. So it must have been the food? Could have been the food. Or it could have been gas. And sort of continuous throbbing. Oh, you too? I think everybody's had a headache. Okay, so let's look at the court record. Let's check out the ship's log. Magnifying glass. Nothing to report. Biff Stroganoff. 9th January. What does this say? I don't think this magnifying glass actually does anything, does it? Other than just slightly magnify everything. Alright, go back. We're going to have to present that to somebody. Probably Biff. Let's move to our cabin. See what we can find out here. Let me move my mic here. A little further away from the keyboard. Hopefully you don't hear it too much. Alright, so now, at this point, we can examine again. But I think we've examined everything we can in here, so maybe we have to go back to Miss Pavlova's cabin. The B is... he's still here. Or Pavlova. Yeah, I think we've... alright, so I guess we have to move. So let's go back. We can't talk to anybody. We can't present anything. All we can do is examine, which we've already done. So let's move to Miss Pavlova's cabin. Maybe she's back. We can talk to her again. Uh-oh. What's that? Fire alarm? Where? Shut down the engines immediately. Vessel sighted a quarter-mile forward. So there's a vessel in front of us, a quarter-mile. Full stop, hard to starboard. All hands brace for impact. Oh God, are we gonna hit? What the? I think we're about to crash into another ship. What? Uh-oh. I can't stand. Susato-san, hold on to me. Wog. We turned into Waluigi. Wog. Susato-san, are you all right? Are you injured at all? I think I'm fine. Thank you, Naruhodo-san. Oh yeah, everything's moved. Again. Looks like we avoided a collision by turning very sharply and throwing everything in the floor. I think. Yes, the ship has come to a stop. Oh my goodness, what about you, Naruhodo-san? Are you hurt? No, I'm fine. Look, it locked the door. See? That's what I thought locked the door in the other room. Hello, is anybody there? Shout if you need assistance. Oh, that sounds like Inspector Hosonaga. Is that you in there, Naruhodo-san? Unbolt the door, quickly. What? The bolt? Yes, the bolt shifted over just like the books did. We saw this in like the first episode of this, not the first episode of the whole playthrough, but the first episode of this story. Chapter 2. Look at that. The door's bolted. Did you do that, Susato-san? No, I didn't touch it. Well, that's strange. How did... And look at all the books. They're just like they were before again. Naruhodo-san, aren't you going to open the door and let the inspector in? Yeah, let's do it. I mean, I have shackles on my hands, so you should probably do it, but, I mean, I'll go do it. I better tidy this place up first. Why? Why would we mess with the crime scene? Well, this one isn't a crime scene, but still, they have that whole mentality. Our violent emergency stop has solved one mystery, at least, in a very vivid way. But I knew that what awaited us on the other side of the cabin door would not be pleasant. I hurried around tidying up the cabin with a new sense of foreboding in my heart. To be continued. Say what? Are we going to go to another chapter? Save your current progress. I'm sure. Let's overwrite 1 here. Yes. Save complete. Let's overwrite 2 as well. Yes. Back. I don't even really need the mouse for this, do I? 9th January, SS Burya, Miss Pavlova's cabin. Somehow, the door to the cabin we were in ended up bolted after we made an emergency stop. Susato-san took a deep breath, then gently slid back the bolt. You, what are you doing in Miss Pavlova's quarters? Ah, you both look unhurt. Good. Yes, we're fine, thank you. What on earth happened? We heard something about we were going to collide with another ship. Yes, it appears to have been a false report, though. Really? I don't believe that. Oh, how did that happen? There's a dense fog outside, so it's extremely difficult to see. Someone must have thought he saw a ship ahead. This person obviously triggered the alarm, and that's why we made an emergency stop. Everything is chaos. Passengers are screaming, crew are running everywhere. Was that you, Hosonaga? Did you do it? This first-class area is the only quiet part of the ship at the moment. Oh, I see. Someone triggered the alarm? Does that mean that someone pressed that button outside? Ah, you wicked intruder, dressed all in black, you are the devil. Excuse me? Sorry, me? I've been called a lot of things before, but devil is a first. You opened my traveling case. How could you? No, we didn't. What? No, we didn't touch it. That's right, Miss Pavlova. It was already open when we came into your cabin. Inspector. Yes? Arrest this man. I know he did it. He is a criminal. It is not enough that he's killed a man? And he's a stowaway as well. If Vixen promises not to steal chicken, do you believe? If Vixen promises not to steal chicken, do you believe? Okay. Take him away. He is a trespasser as well as everything else. Stowing away, trespassing, killing. She is right. You are devil. Doesn't look good, does it? There's a cell below deck. Throw him in. Tomorrow we dock in Hong Kong. Then we give you straight to police. Is that when we go to court? Wait, a cell? Please, Inspector Hosonaga, is there nothing you can do? This is a Russian vessel. I really have no jurisdiction here. After my last effort to appeal to the captain's good nature, I think I'm out of options. This is terrible. This is a real crisis. I've got to find a solution. Immediately. We can examine. Let's see, what all can we examine? We can examine the bookshelf. We can examine the door. Well, I guess we just sit here and look at everything, right? Let's look at the door. I just need to keep calm and focus on the task at hand, which is investigating. Don't touch my things. You want me to show you where the crawfish hibernates? Yeah. Wait, what? Mr. Naruhodo, what do you think you're doing? Wow, everyone's attacking me. I was just starting to think she was my friend. Is there anyone who can help me out of this mess? Biff. Maybe her. Let's talk to her. Miss Pavlova, can I get out? Listen, I'm sorry that we snuck in here without your permission, but get out now. We just need to investigate in here to help understand what happened to... Oh, speaking Russian. I guess no use. She's not going to listen. I need to find someone who will. So let's present the ship's log, which has a gap in what's filled out. Oh, we can't present it. How do we present? Oh, no, we can't do it. Okay, so let's talk to Biff here, and then maybe it'll give us the option to present. Please, just give me a little more time. I do nothing for you, except show you way to ship's prison cell. Thanks, but no thanks. But I'm innocent. I didn't kill anyone. And trespassing and stowing away? Well, you know, sometimes life can lead you down some unusual avenues, and well... Enough. You are guilty. Ship's cell is the only place fit for you. Come on, there has to be someone. Some savior to rescue me from this crisis. Well, let's try Mr. Hosonaga. You got yourself into a difficult situation here. By entering this cabin, uninvited, I mean. Sorry, I was just so desperate to find a clue. I'm afraid there's really nothing more I can do to help you. If I push my luck any further, a punch to the face will be the least of my worries. I'm really sorry. I have to take responsibility for giving you the freedom to investigate Miss Pavlova's cabin. Now this has happened, I'll have to report to the captain at once. I really need some help here. I need a savior to rescue me from this crisis. Let me guess, is Herlock over here? Yeah, he is. And why wouldn't he be hanging on the coat racks? Alright, well, let's talk to Herlock. What the? What are you doing up there? He has the tiara on his head. Mr. Sholmes? Naturally, I was analyzing what a weight of 20,000 rubles feels like on one's head. Have I not told you that as a detective it's my business to know what other people do not? This isn't mere tomfoolery, my boy. Oh no. Well, why were you hanging from that hook before then? Isn't it obvious? To properly assess the weight of the 20,000 rubles, naturally. I wish to determine if it would bend that conceited looking hook on the wall, such full of brag and bounce. Why is the hook conceited? I'd never know whether to take this man seriously or not. Ah, you again. The great detective. Ah, Inspector. I confess I've been looking for you. I have something to report to you most urgently. Well, you might try looking for me somewhere other than a hook on the wall next time. What is to report? Speak. An urgent report from a great detective can mean but one thing. Yes. The case of the curious murder that took place last night here on this vessel, the steamship Buria, has been solved. By me, naturally. So he's going to give some wackadoodle tale, and then I'm going to have to go behind him and fix some facts. Just like we did before with her, right? Exclamation point. What? Really? Yes, I have eliminated all other possibilities. No other explanations exist. So through the process of elimination, you have found the answer? All right, tell us about it there. Allow me to illuminate all your minds. For I'm about to reveal my great detective's greatly admired great deduction to the case. All right, let's hear it. Ah, you have solved it? Even Hedgehog understands this case. We all knew who was responsible for killing Student Boy this morning when we found criminal in wardrobe. Is this stowaway? And he has his handcuffs to prove it. I didn't do it. The trouble is, there doesn't appear to be anyone else who could have killed the victim. Because as everyone knows, the cabin door was bolted shut from the inside. Oh, come on, we just proved how that happened. Guess we gotta tell you guys. It means the culprit must be someone who was inside the cabin. Yes, it's what's called a locked room mystery in detective stories. Locked room, that's the point. The room was locked. Well, I can't deny that. There's no way the bolt could have been drawn across from the outside of the cabin. You're all quite mistaken. The cabin next door is not a so-called locked room at all. What? Oh yes, there is another entrance. An entrance used last night by the culprit in order to gain access to the cabin despite the bolted door. What other entrance? We'd never discovered one. Why, it gapes open mouth at you even as we speak. Yeah, the vent. We have discovered that. The ventilator, man. The ventilator? Ha ha ha. You think this is funny? I can't even put my arm through that hole. That's because your arms are as thick as tree trunks. You're suggesting that the culprit entered and left the victim's cabin through that tiny opening? It's not possible. Ah, but it is. And last night, the victim even witnessed the intruder in the act of passing through the ventilator. It's your little snake. Mr. Sholmes, do you mean... Are you referring to the words Kazuma-sama wrote in his diary? 1:23 a.m. I can hear a faint whistling sound. 1:35 a.m. It looks like some sort of speckled band is dangling from the ventilator grill. This has been Kazuma-sama's ASMR reading of his diary. Precisely, my dear madam. But what does it mean? What is this speckled band? The answer to that particular conundrum is in this very cabin. Oh, he's about to fight again. Mr. Sholmes, what are you doing? There's a distinct element of danger, but fear not, I'm ready. That's why he jumped on the hook. He found the band. What I'm about to expose for all you to see will shock you to your cores. Behold. Kya! Ah! What the? And there's a snake. Stroganoff. Allow me to introduce you all to the band. The speckled band. A snake? Yeah, a snake. Indubitably. That's a fun word. Everybody is just talking dots now. Mr. Sholmes, just one thing. Pray, what troubles you? Well, that snake isn't really speckled, is it? It looks more stripy, wouldn't you say? I will agree with that statement. Huh? Yeah, you're right. I think in this case you'd have to call it the striped band, wouldn't you? Hehehe. You both see and observe with distinction. However, do you not think that is precisely the trap into which the culprit wishes you to fall? No, I'm not thinking that at all. Oh my goodness, really? It's a trap? How exactly? I think perhaps it's time I explained the intricacies of my train of thought. I thought you've already done that. Are you ready, Miss Pavlova? I'm sorry for the young man who died, but that is all. His death has nothing to do with me. The whole thing has nothing to do with me. There are two conclusions I have drawn from the facts. Number one, last night your friend infiltrated the victim's cabin. Ah. And number two, that same friend was responsible for the victim losing his life. Not from poison. This is not a poisonous snake. But because the snake frightened him into jumping back and then knocking his head, breaking his neck. That's my guess. Or the snake was coming after a rat, which then went in there. We do know that there are mice on this ship, or rats, because of the mousetrap. No. She's turned as white as a bowl of rice again. Maybe her pet is a rat. And the snake was going after the rat. I don't know where the snake came from, though. Sholmes must be right. He hit the nail on the head. I don't think he did. This young woman's friend killed Mr. Asagi? I love how the snake has just become an extension of Biff here. Looks like he can't speak with that snake coiled around his head. Yeah, y'all might want to, do something about that. I would advise as little movement as possible, Seaman. You wouldn't want the fangs of that long friend in your neck. I don't think that snake is poisonous. So everyone, let us begin. Herlock Sholmes is proud to present his logic and reasoning spectacular. Try to go into my announcer voice for that. The Great Deduction. The game is afoot. Topic 1. Intruder's identity. Miss Pavlova, moments ago you claimed the following. His death has nothing to do with me. The whole thing has nothing to do with me. Yet you cannot deceive yourself. Yes, when you recall those horrid events, your aching heart smarts with pain. And is that very pain that evidences your inextricable link to the victim's death. That evidences? Is that... I didn't know you could make that into a verb. So we ask, what was the nature of this intruder that stole into the victim's cabin on that portentous night? Why, naturally, it was the friend with which you boarded this vessel, was it not? Ah, as I suspected, another telltale glance. Without doubt, your friend is the writhing serpent we see before us. Probably not. Her friend is a rat. And yet the fact leaves us in a quandary. The victim's written observations on the night in question tell of a speckled band. Whereas, regrettably, this specimen's markings do not fit that description in any way. What explanation can we then give, pray? What was this sight that fell upon the victim's eyes last night? No, don't look at me. This has nothing to do with any of this. Oh, but it does. You have the answer to this quandary even now, hidden behind your back. That looks like a speckled band. Yes, that which you are trying but failing to conceal can only be the snake's slough's skin. That's not what that is, that's something else. Evidently, after the subtle and horrible crime, this most deadly friend of yours shed its original skin. No? Don't think that's the case, but let's find out next episode. Thanks for watching. If you enjoy my content, please consider a like, a comment, and or a subscribe. Stay tuned for the next episode. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.